So this visit was very impromptu, and I just came to be an observer. But after I heard Thom is your name? I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I hear a lot of cliches, and I keep track of my favorite ones. These when I heard Thom's, I was like, I'm going to give Thom the ultimate cliches. Okay, so these are not my own. This is stuff I got on the podcast and noted down. Stop rewarding people who start at third base as if they hit a home run. The sun holds all of the planets in their appointed orbits, yet can ripen a bunch of grapes as if it had nothing else to do in the world. Human beings are works in progress that often mistakenly think they're finished.
Yes.
How many times have you heard or even said, one person's opinion is just as good as another's, or it's all just a matter of opinion? Well, the fact of the matter is that it isn't. Some opinions are well-formed and intelligently reasoned. Others are off the cuff and ignorant. Some are the products of considered thought and debate. Others are no more than slogans spouted by folks who insist on using their mouths more than their heads. One of my favorite artists, I don't know if this is true for a lot of people, but he said when he got real comfortable, it killed his creativity, so he came up with the same comfort as the killer of creativity. And I'm reading a book right now called Think Like a Freak, and this was one of the artist's favorite sayings. The Chinese have a saying, wealth does not pass 3 generations. The first generation builds the business, the second makes it a success, and the third wrecks it. That's it.
We hope to see you for many more, Brandon. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. And next up is Jack R. Curtis.
Bumper sticker. My favorite bumper sticker back in the 60s, make love, not war. So I went, that sounds like a cool idea. What to go about doing. As far as I know, love was a euphemism for sexual intercourse, and that usually makes babies. And Rachel Carson, in her book Silent Spring, persuaded me that too many babies is going to destroy the world, inducing famine and plague and war and avarice. So we make love without making babies. About that time, I was introduced to homosexuality, delivering pizzas in high school, after school. People invite me in to give me a special treat. I thought that was cool. Let the guys get off with guys, and let the girls do whatever it is they do with girls, and no more babies. That's a pretty good idea. But after thinking about it a while, I said it just creates a rift between men and women, and a country with a divided population is going to collapse sooner or later. Be overrun by variants, collapse on its own, dissension and contention, lack of social cohesion. So I gave up on that idea. A little while later, actually about 40 years later, it occurred to me maybe we could just shift the focus of the male sex drive from the vagina to the breast. The breast is an obvious place for love to occur, and genital sex is so, guys are so exhausted after they're done, they just fall asleep, and it's the end of love. So maybe that's a good idea. The problem, though, the first thing that occurred to me is that guys are spending all their time at the woman's breast, reminiscing about the good old days when they had nothing to do but suck to. They would be able to regress and do some kind of mental regression. They become feckless, suckling, useless, whipped milk toasts. So that's not what we want. We want men to retain their vital and enduring characteristics, the love of freedom and variety, adventure, fighting off oppression, fixing things and improving things, and trying new things just for the hell of it. So then it occurred to me that there are 2 kinds of mommies in the world. There's a mommy master and there's a mommy slave. So maybe we could just opt for the latter. Provide the men with an arena to develop their enduring masculine traits under the control of the woman to a certain extent. Then I thought, well, the woman's livers aren't going to like this too much. We're screaming about oppression And the patriarchy they've been fighting off for the last 100 years, claim a system of their church to enslave women. So I could point out to them that actually it wouldn't be real slavery, they'd just be voluntary slaves, because to the extent it's good for them and good for their baby. And also they'd be in a position to raise their babies in any way they want. They could turn them into the man of their dreams instead of the man of their nightmares. Because the breast would be a powerful weapon. If the guy got too obnoxious and demanding, and his demands became too insufferable, they would just deny him the breast, and they'd rethink it pretty quick, probably. And if that didn't work, she could just also retain the right to terminate the relationship and send the guy out into the world to find himself another mommy who might be more accommodating. So there's not much likelihood of her slipping into slavery. That seemed like the way to do it to me. Pretty good way to make love and not war. I know you'll love this idea if you think about it a while. But until then, in the interim, I can just point the finger at Teresa and say, she asked for it.
At a woman who's never birthed or married, so thank you. And following that is Element 615. He is.
I did not see him.
AKA Suge Knight.
The first time I started to grow my beard out, some kid was like, "Oh, so you going for a Rick Ross?" I was like, "No, like a late Isaac, you know, like a late Isaac."
I've never heard you sing.
You know, so you want to get a little hot buttered soul going on. A full curtain, I call it, all of that. So I let me see here. Given the theme and everything, I decided to hunt down some cliche haikus, and some of them had me snickering on the way here. So, okay, here we go. Nose to the grindstone, ear to the ground, shoulder to wheel. Advertisement. Sorry, I wrote that back in very slowly. Damned if you do, damned if you don't, beat a dead horse of a different color. The mission statement, plethora of platitudes pitched by empty suits. Hell hath no fury. Do these pants make me look fat? Like a woman scorned. An ace up his sleeve is the tip of the iceberg, riverboat gambler. The sea of plenty does not despair of love lost, because it's full of fish. British actor cries, a plague on both your horses, wrong in one fell swoop. Cute as a button, ruby lips, eyes like twin stars, and as dumb as a post. Bad start to the day. My computer connection, dead as a doorknob. I have intention enough to groove a grindstone, but lack the nose for it. That was by Harry Morgan. That's the only one I could find the name for. That was pretty cool. Let's see here. I mean, you know, there's a 4-word cliche glitch. Some stutter to stall time. Am I myopic? Do I need laser treatment? Of course. Love is blind. Newspaper want ad. Knight in shining armor seeks damsel in distress. Unfortunately, no cliche ever died of overexposure.
And our last poet of the evening, Thom, the world poet.
What world? What world, exactly?
It's 1991, an industrial warehouse. I'm in the chill-out room doing poetry with music behind. And people are staring at me and ask the question, "Are you on drugs?" I say, "No, you're on drugs. I'll catch you." I realised at that point of time that every word I would ever craft in poetry would be forgotten, and I don't mind. And people will never forget their eyeballs being blasted out by colours beyond the 12th dimension. And they will never forget this is a visual age. It's a post-visual age, actually, because our eyes are tired. We had tinnitus when our ears got overloaded, the spinal taps around. But now, we're all on cameras, we're all YouTube, we're all watching all the time and photographing as if we're being captured. This world is no longer a conversation. It's text and a tweet. Oh, come on, forget that Instagram. Move on. And all the pictures that come to your mind right now, they're the only ones you can actually lay claim to. The imagination, the nation without visas, passport, borders. But we are antiquarians. We are radios from an old dimension. We seek to activate that voice-to-ear connection. Do you remember memory? Not the little sticks you buy and plug into a machine as if you're part of a great grid that will save you, that doesn't care about you, that has no personal connection whatsoever. But I digress. Once upon a time, when I was young, I had my ear to the radio, son. My whole world was a 12-inch speaker and a walnut cabinet, yeah. Ever since then, I've listened to what people say, and it became poetry anyway, because it's a lost art, memory, and improvisation. It's as older than time. It's as older than stone. It's as older than fire. It's as older than anyone. This age of solipsism and narcissism and iPhone and I this and I that. There's a we involved in all this. We gather in unpleasant circles because we must. No one else. The furniture does not need your words. There are no ears on the walls that care. And all these rapt echoes of people's conversations, so few are really soul here. But the bottom line is this: you are generators. It's not just voice, but you've got two ears and a third one as well. And everything that activates, of course, is responsibility, which is the first sign of an organism that responds to its environment. And that's why we're here tonight. Words aren't trusted anymore. They've been abused by pedophile priests and politicians, advertising agencies. They purloin and use the very words that flow from you. But underneath it all, each of us seek to connect. F.R. Lever said, only connect. And what have we got? Just this bare language, this bare form conversation, this tiny vocabulary of expression, these podcasts from our own imagination seeking to find sentient life on Earth while there is still some. This restoring the celestial conversation, the gathering in a coffee shop of consciousness and a library like this. How lucky we are to still be able to speak.
Well, folks, we did our entire show in bumper sticker time. I think when you have a theme that says bumper sticker, everybody thinks, okay, I have to write a little bit. So we got our whole show in a little over an hour instead of 2.
Wow.
It's almost like daylight saving times again. It's like I saved another hour, but anyway. I suspect the hour that we saved here will be added on to the hour in December 13th when we come back, because that is accidental orgasms. And if there's anything people love to talk about other than themselves, it's sex. And it doesn't matter if it's the sex they're having or somebody else, or they suspect someone else is having sex. So I hope you guys will join us again, because we saved an hour here and we can spend that hour the next month. I think that's how it works, because I'm an adult math teacher. So,